I tell women emphatically, you do not date potential unless you're young, like 20, 21 years old. But you can't tell no woman who's at a law firm, she's quitting her job, having faith in the guy. Oh, I have faith that it's going to work out. Girl, you a damn fool. You don't do that. And the way she told her story, like, hey, bro, I have 4 daughters. And I wouldn't tell my daughters, you don't ever have faith in a man. You don't have faith in a man.
Intentionally trying to pursue her.
I don't give a damn. Does he have his ish together? Now, if they're both 20 years old and they're in college or something like that, cool. That's a different story. I don't expect my daughter, I don't expect a young man to have all his stuff together, and I wouldn't tell him he couldn't pursue my daughter. I would advise against it. If he's 25, he better have his own damn place. He better have a car. He better have his stuff together. Does he need to be rich? No, but he has to be fully self-sufficient, and he has to be able to take my daughter in where she doesn't have to work for them to survive. If she has to work, he ain't ready yet. And when I say he ain't ready yet, I don't mean he needs to make 100,000, 200,000. I'm saying that a woman comes underneath your covering outside of utilities, toiletries, and food, cell phone bill and stuff like that, maybe some car insurance, whatever. If a man can't swing that extra expense, he probably ain't ready to have a woman all the way on his program. Because this whole thing, trying to get a woman on your program where she has to financially contribute, there's no need for a woman to endure that, because there's plenty of men out here where she doesn't have to endure that. So I would advise against it. Now, if she's hard set on dating this guy, all right, cool, do your thing. I'm not going to ever tell somebody they can't be together because the man can't fully foot the bill.
Will, you said that unless she was young. How young is young?
21,
young. She's still in school. If she's still in school. Once you're out of school, all bets are off. The guy has to have his stuff figured out. If he don't have his stuff figured out, bro, go focus on getting your stuff figured out. The only way I'll make an exception for my daughter to date a guy that don't have his stuff figured out is if they're both still in school. If she's out of school, the guy has to have his stuff figured out.
You mean college, right?
Yeah.
So they're both seniors in college.
Yeah, I'm okay. He ain't got his stuff figured out. They're both seniors in college. Okay.
So let's say she graduated in 2025 and he graduates in 2026. Okay. You cool with that?
I would advise against it.
Damn.
Let's get the ladies involved in the conversation.
What if he say he want to go to grad school? She want to go start
what he wants to do. I'm advising against it.
All right, go ahead, Vaughn.
Damn, bro.
Sorry.
I understand exactly what Will is saying. You should have your things together. I wouldn't advise my daughters to either. I have 2 older daughters too, and I wouldn't advise them to jump into a situation where the guy wasn't ready for them. Not saying they shouldn't have theirs together too. Yes, but I wouldn't advise for them to just jump into something where they probably would struggle. It's just
why y'all gotta add struggle to it?
Struggle is part of life. I'm okay with my daughter struggling. That's a part of life.
It is, but
you don't want her to struggle with a man.
No, she needs to struggle with her man. Life is ebbs and flows. Even men that got their stuff figured out go through ebbs. Like you're going to struggle in life. That's not what trying to avoid a struggle is you're problematic if you're trying to avoid a struggle. That means you don't love this man enough to go through the trenches with him when he needs you to. Because everybody.
All right, we gotta let Vaughn finish. Y'all go ahead, Vaughn.
When I say struggle, I'm not saying, of course, everybody struggles. Life is going to life everywhere in every aspect, but meaning for both of them to have their best foot forward in life to start something as far as marriage or things of that nature, or be able to build together. You have this together, I have this, and we can build something. We have to be able to build something to create this relationship. We have to have because money is a big issue in marriages. Is probably the number one cause. If we don't have money, divorces happen from that. So we have to be able to build something together. If he has nothing for me to build with, then how can you lead? You can't lead if you're trying to get your stuff together and I'm trying to help you get your stuff together so we can live this life. So I do understand what Will is saying. Like but I do agree in some instances, like he said, like if we're both trying to get ourselves together and we're at this young age and we're in school, so we're both trying to build from here. But if you're older, in my case, like, you should have your stuff together.
So what do y'all think the odds are of someone doing well after graduating Harvard Law?
I think the odds are like at least 70 to 80% that they're going to do well. I mean, they graduated from Harvard Law. That's a tough school to get into. You must have some type of intelligence and know what it is. Most people, when they're going to that school, they're going it for a reason, and they're seeking a higher paying job that not just the average Joe can obtain. So if, as any employer would look, if they look at your resume and they see that you have a Harvard job, you're most likely going to get picked over the rest of the litter that only has a high school diploma or a bachelor's degree or master's degree from a community college.
So do you think that it would have been reckless or dangerous or just risky to go out with Barack Obama at that phase in his life? Would you advise against it?
Me personally, no, because I've heard the way Barack Obama speaks. I've seen how he moves. The man knows what he's talking about. You know what I mean? And I think that he's not just a man that's going to be like, oh, baby, I got you, I promise. He's probably also shown that with his actions as they were dating. So there's a lot more context in between that made her probably like, okay, I trust you. I don't think it was anything that's like a man like that. Like, I don't know. From what I've seen of him, he's pretty predominant.
Well, yeah, but you're judging by what you've seen. She just, according to what I heard, she took a leap of faith. He told her, "Hey, look, I got you. You can trust me. You're not taking a risk. You're not taking a risk you think you." And she bought into that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the message is, can we start getting women to do that for us? Will says no.
Okay, can y'all please be honest? That timeline of how she described it is not what happened. She did not quit her job when she met him. But that's what she said.
So she lied in the podcast?
Who do we believe, ChatGPT or her?
ChatGPT.
The fuck? Hold on, don't ChatGPT get his information from her?
Yeah. Well, they probably compile it from news sources. That's the thing. You could frame something in any way you want in a podcast, especially when part of people podding nowadays is to sensationalize shit.
Somebody said Jay-Z did something. Jay-Z said, I ain't do it.
That nigga say he ain't sell drugs when the feds came.